everyone, this is Phoebe from Bézier Games, and I'm here to do an unboxing of the Palace of Mad King Ludwig. Now, this was our release, our big release at Essen this year, but we only had a limited amount of copies available. So I'm going to open up the box, show you the components, so those of you who didn't have a chance to get it yet can see what's inside. This will be hitting stores around January, middle of January, we're hoping, depending on the boat. So you can go and pre-order at beziergames.com if you're interested in getting it as soon as it becomes available, or get it from your local store. So you're about to see that my copy is actually already punched and bagged up because I had to bring it back from Essen with an absolutely packed suitcase. So we'll be doing an unbagging as well as an unboxing today. But let's have a look at what's inside. I'm just going to put that out of shot here and put that up there. So of course the first thing we have in the box is the rules. Hooray! Very exciting here. I'm actually going to show you stuff that you want to see. So we have, first of all, the main board, which fits together just like this. Hopefully you can see that. And this is where you'll be having all the rooms that you can buy during the game. All the swans will be sitting here on the moat because, of course, the swans are back. King Ludwig loves his swans. And we also have the player board. So up to 4 players, 2 to 4 players, and each player will get their own board to track what they've been building throughout the game. And you can also get extra endgame points or some special abilities to use during the game, which is new. So anyone who's played the castles of Mad King Ludwig or is familiar with it, we'll see some similarities with the building and that kind of thing in the palace, but it's a completely separate standalone sequel to Castles. So we've got a lot of new things, and the main difference is, of course, everyone's building one giant palace instead of their own separate castles. There's a lot more interaction. You can be a little bit meaner in this game as well if you like that. So everyone will have their own player board, and they'll also have their own tokens. So I'll take some of these out just so you can see. So these will be going on your board, and let me find the red one here. These will be going on your board, so you'll be tracking how many of each type of room you've built, and you'll also be placing them on the rooms as you build the palace, so you know who built which room, so you can score points at the end of the game. So there's a set of markers for each player. The red has crowns. The green one has feathers, although I've been told they look a little bit like pickles if you don't look at them too closely. The yellow one has keys, and the blue one has little musical notes, which are really cute. So those are the player markers. I'll just pile those over here. And the next thing we have, of course, are swans. Piles and piles of swans. So if you have played the Secrets expansion for Castles, you'll have played with swans already in that one. And the swans are back. They act as, so you can use them to score points at the end of the game if you have sets of swans. So you're trying to collect sets of different colours by matching up the entrances on the rooms you're placing in the palace. But you can also use them as a kind of currency. So you'll have a sliding market of room tiles here, which I'll show you in just a second. And you can spend swans to get the rooms that have just come out. Similar in Suburbia, you can buy the latest tiles that have just come out that are a bit more expensive. You can spend swans to get the ones that have just come out in Palace. You can also spend swans to upgrade your player board, which is how you get the tiles slotting in to activate those special abilities. So we have lots and lots of swans here. Let's pile them all on. Way more than you'd ever need in a single game, but we wanted to make sure that King Ludwig had his swans. So you can see there's just a lot of them here. Oops, lost one, that's okay. So the next thing we have, let's have a look at the room tiles actually. So just like in Castles, we have a ton of different fun, exciting rooms. You'll be building a kind of zany, wacky palace that you're not quite sure who would want to live there, but apparently the king does, so you're building it for him. So if we have a look here, we've got a cloak room, a boot room, because everyone needs a room to keep their boots in, guest bedroom, oratory room, an armory. So we have the downstairs rooms, just like we have in castles, that you have to connect to stairs in order to build. And we have a kitchen, that's pretty normal, freezer, a porcelain room for all of your porcelain, and so on. We've got all kinds of crazy things here. So at the start of the game, these will all be shuffled up and stacked in piles up here, and these will come out onto the market, available for players to purchase on their turn. What you'll be doing each turn is you can buy a room from the market here and place it in the palace somewhere, or you can upgrade your player board, or just build some hallways or stairs if you don't want to build any of these rooms. And I'll show you those pieces in just a second. We have another bag of rooms as well, but I won't unpack those. I'll just put these onto here so you can kind of see how it's going to start looking at the start of the game when you set it up. We also have hallways and stairs. So this is, the hallways are kind of the generic piece that you can connect to anything, and they've got all different coloured swans around, so you can easily match them to the other rooms. Of course, if you match the swans when you're connecting the entrances of the different rooms, you'll earn the swans, and that's how you get them to either score points or spend them during the game. So the halls just get stacked up here. And then we have some stairways, which are all the same, but they just let you connect from an upstairs room down to a downstairs room, so you can start building in the basement, because of course it wouldn't be Mad King Ludwig without a bottomless pit or a moss room. He loves his moss rooms, so that's what we've got here. At the start of the game, I'll see if we can pull this back a little just so we can see the setup. At the start of the game, you'll put out 3 hallways, and that'll be the start of the palace, but you don't really have anything else to build off. So you might not be able to see them all there, but we've got 3 hallways connected to the entrance of the palace. And basically as the game goes on, you'll be selecting rooms from here, connecting them, putting your little marker on to show you own it. And as you close off all the entrances to your rooms, as you complete the rooms, you'll get a bonus, just like you do in castles for completing the rooms. So some of them you will earn swans if you complete hallways, or you'll get extra scoring opportunities, or be able to upgrade your player board as well. So that's kind of what you're trying to do there. The next lot of pieces we have, and there are a lot of these ones, motes. Motes are the other new big thing in Palace, because as we are expanding on this Palace for the King, we'll actually be placing motes around it as well. So at the start of the game, we don't place any motes, but once these room stacks start to deplete, you'll see there are little mote symbols underneath here. And what that means is, whenever you complete a room, you place as many motes as shown by the number of revealed motes underneath these stacks. So if this pile is empty, I would be placing 1 mote at the end of my turn for every room I complete. And basically what that means is, starting from the edge of the palace, I'll be placing motes from either edge and going around, and that will be surrounding the rooms and kind of blocking off some of the entrances. And you can, block off other players with that, or use it to fill in holes, and you can be really mean with these motes if you want to be. So if you like kind of a bit of aggression in your games, a bit of interaction, then you'll really like how these motes work in Palace. So you'll be building around the edge, and they're actually the timer of the game as well. So when the motes meet in the middle, that's when the game ends, because the Palace is officially completed. So we have a lot of these mote tiles, which just kind of stack up here during the game, and then you can take from there whenever you need to place motes. It's finding room around these swans, because there's so many of them. But there you go. As you can see, there are a lot of tiles, a lot of pieces in this game. I think we had to punch out demo copies at Essen. We had to punch out about 5 demo copies, and I think it took us 45 minutes for each one, because there's so many little swans and so many little player pieces that there's a lot of things to punch out. So you'll have fun with that if you end up picking up Palace. You can punch out a lot of pieces. We have another full bag of motes, which I'll just leave in there because they're all exactly the same. They do have this beautiful art by Stephanie Gustafsson, who's done the art for all our rooms and all the motes and everything. And so just looks like that shimmery water. It's really pretty. So I really like that. The next thing we have are the favor tiles. So of course the king wants you to build a certain type of palace, and this is how you figure out what he wants you to build. So there's a whole bag of these favors. At the start of the game, you're going to put out 4 of these randomly, and that's what you're trying to do to score points at the end of the game. So those are actually conflicting, so we discard that. So this one says that whoever has the most of this type of room will get 10 points. Whoever has the most blue swans at the end of the game will get 10 points, and so on. So these are public goals that you're all trying to achieve. But you can also draw more of these favors during the game and add them to your player board. And that will be a personal hidden goal that you have to try and achieve by the end of the game to get those points. So if I get rid of those for a second, if I take the action to take a favor on my turn, I'll be able to choose 3 from the top, pick one of them that I want. So maybe I'll take this one, and I would slot it into my player board just like this on the table. And that blocks it off from me activating that ability, because to do that I'd have to activate it with a room tile, which is one of the other options. But if I put a favor token in there, then that gives me an extra scoring opportunity. So each of these slots can either be used as an extra scoring opportunity, or as, if you slot a room in there, a way to activate that extra ability, which gives you an advantage during the game. So that's a really cool kind of customizable thing as you're playing, and it'll be slightly different what you choose to do every game, which is a lot of fun. So those will all kind of live in a stack up here, and you also start with one of these favors, so you'll have a bit of a idea of what to aim for during the game before you even collect more of these as well. The last thing that we have are the secret swans. So these are a lot of fun. There's only a few of these, but these are, if I can get them out of the bag. Come on, swans. They're shy. There we go. So these swans, as you can see, they're grey on one side, and that's how they'll be sitting on the board with the grey side down. And they'll just kind of sit on this bridge. But when you complete a type of room, you'll actually earn one of these swans. And you can choose to spend it if you want during the game, just like any other swan. But if you hang on to it, it counts towards your swans at the end of the game, so it counts towards the public objectives that you try to do, it counts towards your swan set scoring as well. And so people don't know exactly what you have, so if you're trying to get the most blue swans, you might have a hidden blue swan there that they don't know about. So it's a little bit of an advantage as well. And the last thing we have in the box here is a scoring pad. So there we go, hold it the right way up. So once you finish the game, you can put the players in, add up all your scores there, nice and easy, and see who contributed the most to this grand palace for the king. So that is Palace of Mad King Ludwig. That is everything inside the box. As I said, we have another bag of room tiles that I didn't unbox that will go in these stacks here as well. So if you have any questions about the game, please feel free to comment on the video, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. If you're interested in buying the game, you can get it from your local game store mid-January, or you can pre-order it on BezierGames.com to get it as soon as it comes out. So thank you so much for watching this unboxing. I'm Phoebe from Bézier Games, and I'll see you next time.